Very professional situation.
This is great.
So we're coming to you live from Adam Eget's apartment here in beautiful Austin, 32 floors up.
Yeah.
Should we give the exact address?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
You have so many fans out there
No.
that want to come in here and get to know you and your dog.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I just did a hilarious series of dances for your dog.
Oh, that's sweet. I remember. It was great.
Yeah.
She loved it.
She did not. She
Should
went
we
into some kind of
reenact
like... Yeah. So here we have Dice down here. Hey, Dice.
Uh-oh.
All right. Maybe she has to be in your bed. Oh, she's over it? God damn it. I was hitting her with the surf's
look like
up.
a fool.
No! Quit setting me up to fail. God. You've been nothing but derisive towards me in front of my friends. Remember when I told you about my breakfast?
Oh, yeah. Tell the folks at home.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I told Adam, I said, he was like, how was your day? After a long embrace, a big hug that we share with
nice
each other.
hug.
Yes.
Very nice hug.
And I said, I had a croissant. Yes. And then you just lambasted me. And so did David Bory. You and David Bory bonded over that.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's great.
Yeah, he's my new best friend.
What?
I'm sorry.
What about me?
Did you hear the way you pronounce croissant?
I had a good run. I thought we were
I
in.
can't be friends with someone that pronounces it that way.
Well, how do you say it?
Croissant.
Croissant.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm Adam Eget. The first thing that happens when you walk in my apartment, I make you read this article about me on the wall.
You know what? This is the first time I realize that is how I sound. And
I'm Adam Eget.
all right, take it back. You're right. It doesn't feel good.
Who's your new best friend then?
You are.
All right, good. Yeah, so Adam and I have... It's weird as an adult.
Yeah, we were saying that.
It's strange as an adult to make a new friend
Yeah.
that you think about. And obviously what's odd for me, Adam, and stop me, all right? Stop me if I'm buttering up your croissant.
Stop you if you've
Don't touch
heard
stuff.
this one before.
Oh, God. Please don't riff with our infrastructure. This is all a delicate system that we're trying to maintain here. Is it working? Oh, yes, we're good.
Oh, damn.
Crap. I've known you. I've known you via the Norm Macdonald podcast.
Yeah, that's so strange.
It is odd. And I told you the other day, which I think rattled the very chambers of your heart, that I think it's you or Martin Mull who are the best straight men in the history of comedy. And I don't mean that as like non-homosexuals.
No, I know. No, I know you didn't, and I'm terrible with compliments, but thank you.
Yeah, because I loved Fernwood Tonight.
Oh, I was the best. Yeah,
Me and my daddy used
great.
to watch Fernwood Tonight all the time.
Well, we did discuss that at great length when we first started.
The feeling out process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, when
brainstorming and
when we were trying to figure out just exactly whose name should be on the final list. Shouldn't bring that up here.
Oh yes. Oh right.
When we met, Tim Dillon took me into to Joe Rogan. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Took me into Joe Rogan's nascent comedy club before it opened. And I met you, and I was so nervous, and I shook Joe Rogan's hand like this when I first met him.
I recall.
Remember this?
Yeah.
He ate my fingers.
That's not where I met you.
Where did we meet?
It was the Paramount Theater.
Was that the first time, though?
Yeah.
With Spade?
I think so.
It was when Tim Dillon was at the Paramount, and I opened. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous that night.
It's a beautiful theater.
Not about the show. I'm the best in the business.
Yeah, you are great.
All right? I'm talking about meeting David Spade.
That's so bizarre to me. I mean, yeah, Spade's great, obviously. But
who cares?
So weird,
Spade doesn't care about a new fat guy. He had a great fat guy.
I had no idea. I was close with Tim, and I always, I obviously revere him, and I think that he must have impeccable taste if he brought you on, and then you handed me that book, and you said the kindest things to me, and I thought you were a sweetheart. And then I read the book, and then it's a great fitting hat. That really looks great on you. Yeah. And then we really
it's me,
got
Spunky
to know
Newmeyer.
I think
I'm selling newspapers, Mr. Eget. You want to watch me eat a popsicle? It's $5. Old man Jefferson down the street, I eat so many popsicles for him. Look at me. Watch me eat this popsicle. This is insane.
We first fell in love at Las Vegas.
Oh, dude, that was where our real courtship began. Yes, that was so much
the
fun.
Fun times at Dick's Last Resort. So many fun times there. Oh man, did we laugh?
Yes. Dude, Dick's was fucked. I felt so bad for those like 23-year-old servers who were like, well, I'm kind of sassy.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go work at Dick's Last Resort and call people fat. And then it's like all of the Philadelphia contingency from Skankfest there to watch the Eagles game. Just this like fucking swarm of locusts descend.
Yeah.
Some of the meanest, nastiest, funniest people in the world.
Yeah, it was the best. You and Shane and
Big J, not to be bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah. And we were doing some bits with the kids.
Yeah, that was the most fun I think I've ever had to this day.
So much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Just being like, this guy's black. Get him.
Right.
Yeah. He's black and fat.
Hey, there's a big fat guy. I'll bet he wants to eat something. Yeah. That was great.
And them just being like, oh no. Who are these unwashed beasts? These brutes have descended.
They got a taste of their own medicine, Sam.
I know. Yeah.
How long have they been dishing it out?
They've had it too easy for too long.
Yeah, no shit.
I know. And we gambled. Boy, did we gamble.
Boy, we did.
I had to do Ari's show, so I didn't get there in time for that fucking Jets bet of the century.
That was the most fun I've had watching a bet come in.
Yeah.
Ever. Because it was before, it was like, no one was, I mean, I guess they still didn't necessarily believe in it. This is boring, but...
No, it's not. I think people like to hear the inner workings of a comedy genius and his new friend Adam. Remember that great character I did where I was a little boy?
That was the best.
Yeah.
Timmy, I think?
Something. That's the thing about working in the moment. The moment
I get
was
so
then.
fucking nervous for these things, dude.
Why? You're beloved.
Yeah,
bro, you're beloved. Oh my god, that's what's so insane about you. You're just this little like type guy, and it's like
I'm a Chinaman.
Yes, you're a railroad worker. You're all lost to the hot pipe. Yeah, you're laying on your side. You're on a velvet pillow. A woman on a leash brings you a new pipe.
Should we talk about our other great love?
Oh my god. Yes, it's not just sports gambling.
No.
Dude. We've had so many wacky fun times here.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, Adam frequents a restaurant here in Austin.
Yeah.
We won't give it out. No.
Not.
But it's a nice restaurant. Generally revered by the locals here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just a good place to get a cut of meat. You know?
Yeah.
And Adam took me there last time I was in town.
Yes.
Well, hold on, real quick. I just want to talk about this. This guy, we text each other his catchphrases.
Yes.
The waiter.
Yes.
Garrett.
Oh.
We can't say his
believe
name?
that. Well, just in case.
Just in case what?
No, it's too late now.
No, we can.
No, it's fine. Garrett's
Becker.
fine. I just don't want to. I don't want to end up on this. I feel like we've done so much to avoid his
Stay
kill
on his
list.
good side.
Yeah. I feel like this could easily get us put right back on to the top, but that's fine.
I don't think
he's a character.
We're not going to be on the kill list because we're not sex workers.
No, we do, but
That's his
we
MO.
genuinely loved him.
Oh, I still do.
Yeah, I still do.
Despite
too.
the events
His flaws,
of Tuesday.
Yeah, but it was like, I remember I took Greg Fitzsimmons there, and I would take all I took Shane and Ari and Mark there, and always in the hopes of, and I specifically request to be served by
It
this.
says in the notes for you as a client of the restaurant,
Yeah.
prefers to be seated in Garrett's section.
Yeah.
I don't think we're giving away too much. I don't think they're going to
No.
find Garrett and be
No.
like, hey, you were on Chubby Behemoth.
Yeah, right.
Hey, can you do your bit for us? So the first time we went there, we were having a very intimate conversation. Really fucking full speed ahead into this new friendship. And you were spilling your guts, you know?
Yeah.
And it was very heavy stuff, you know? Yeah. And then during the apex of that very candid moment, Garrett pops out from behind a pillar and says,
Gentlemen, your anecdotes amuse me.
it's like, Garrett, how long have you been back there?
What the fuck?
What the fuck, Garrett? Why are you eavesdropping? This man's almost crying.
I heard everything.
I'm holding his hand. Yeah, exactly. And then he just slides a piece of paper with a number written on it and a bank account.
I think this should suffice.
Yes, I have all of the bodies.
Sordid details.
Yes, yeah.
My work here is done.
Smoke bomb,
but
he disappears.
Yeah, he's a real character. I don't know how else to describe him.
5'6".
Yeah.
Gaunt face, hollow cheeks.
Yes.
Gentleman magician's goatee.
Right.
Severe pulled back ponytail.
Yeah, incredibly.
Yes, great hairline. It looks like it's painted on. Yeah, he looks like something Jim Henson would create.
Yeah, totally.
Which makes sense based on his impressions that he did.
He also you said it best too. I think you called him an out of work puppeteer.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
was perfect.
And he reeks like cigs.
Yes.
You can tell that he just lives on like creme de menthe and cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
That's all that's getting him through. He has like kind of like maybe had been exploited in prison vibes to him.
Definitely.
Like I bet if someone drops a bunch of silverware, he flinches.
I could see that happen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And I think he's no stranger to the Chinaman's dilemma.
No.
I think he wears those long sleeve shirts for a reason.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He definitely has a lot of track marks.
Right, yeah, and a long track record.
Yeah.
Of anti-Semitism.
So that took me by surprise at first. Because it was always just, oh, that's Garrett. Oh, that's Garrett.
Classic Garrett.
Yeah. But just a lot of like, the way he speaks and his...
Well, he comes up to the table and he says, like, salutations, mein Freund.
Yeah. Yes.
You know? Yes.
He's a funny talker.
He talks funny, and you can tell that he doesn't get to do a lot of his best bits for most of the clientele.
Until
we...
I think he felt a little, perhaps too comfortable with us.
Well, I think he found some kindred souls in us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then I have to take a long, hard, deep look at myself.
You need to do an inventory.
Yeah. Why did he feel so comfortable
out.
with... Anyway, yeah.
Well, we get in there and we sit down. Oh, cool, Garrett. I'm just giddy to not only be with you, but to have Garrett again.
I was thrilled. I forgot I requested him. I requested him one time, and apparently, he made it known that they take good care of their customers, and they take note. If you requested me once, you request me 1,000 times.
Everything on my menu is something I would gladly sup upon.
Yeah, right.
Whether it was the Queen of Sheba or the Prince of Siam, anyone would be lucky to have my victuals chewed and masticated and turned to a bolus, which takes down to their tummy, and then mixed with chyme becomes shit. That's what we all are in the long run, gentlemen. Don't forget, we'll be mud one day. That's literally this is being hyperbolic, but I don't think it's too far off. If we really let him run...
It's only Garrett adjacent.
Yes,
There's no doubt.
If Garrett showed up to a casting, those would be the lines that he would read instead of the
pre-written.
script.
Yeah, he wrote them himself. Absolutely.
I would like to read from a different piece by a maligned, forgotten master of the modern wordcraft, Garrett. What's your name again? Oh, indeed, it is I.
But he opened with the most derivative and fourth grade playground Holocaust jokes.
Right, and it wasn't like we were like talking about the Holocaust or even Germany.
Yeah.
It was really out of left field.
Yeah, it was strange. I'm on this carnivore diet. What cut of steak, which cut of meat do you prefer? I'd like a steak. Mm-hmm. And it was, I would recommend the porterhouse. Also, my grandfather died in the Holocaust. He fell out of one of the guard towers. And it was just,
Well, you're actually burying the lead. He went from, the porterhouse, a house. Houses usually have garages. You can park a car in a garage. You know how many Jews you can fit in a Volkswagen? I don't know the logic that got him there, but out of nowhere, he hits us with do you know how many Jews you can fit in a Volkswagen?
No, Garrett, how many Jews can you fit in a Volkswagen?
One in all four seats, and then all the rest in the ashtray.
No, Garrett! Come on, man.
Yes. And then he has a little bit of he rocks with delight.
Then you were like, he's Jewish.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, my grandfather died in the Holocaust.
Okay, then he's a kindred spirit.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, he fell out of a guard tower.
Oh, Garrett, you got me again, you son of a bitch. What a rascal.
And he's like, yes, it's all coming together for Garrett.
Reeled them in.
They're putty in your hands, Garrett.
And he would break in with and then the guy who brought out the steaks was a black guy, and
black fella.
And you asked, he left, and you asked Garrett, could I have a side of mustard and ketchup for your hamburger?
Yeah.
And Garrett made it. Oh, you describe what he did.
Well, didn't he say, some people don't know how to do their jobs correctly. And it's like, oh, not some people, Garrett.
I think you know, And
that
we
was
know what he meant.
We found out exactly, because that was a little breadcrumb.
Oh, yeah.
To the house that he burnt to the ground at the very end of the meal. Because you eat your steak, I watch you eat your steak.
Yeah.
I'm just rock hard underneath the table. My hands glancing off the shaft of my cock as you're over there.
Yeah, I ate it quick.
Oh, you crushed it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the last time we were there, you got a cheeseburger, and it was like fucking watching Michael J. Fox.
My shirt had a cheeseburger.
Yeah, you were like, it's like, are you okay? Usually,
I look like Garfield eating a lasagna.
Yeah, at 11:59 on Sunday night, because it's about to be Monday. And there's no lasagnas on Monday. Yeah, you were fucking spazzing over there. So you got a steak this time. You crushed it. You did a good job. Got it all in.
Thank you. I tend to eat a lot and very quickly.
I was just so happy to see you get it in your mouth.
Yeah, it worked out this time.
Because it was crazy, dude.
I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice.
Thank you, yeah. No handheld meats in front of me again.
Well, I learned from my mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Unlike Garrett. Because after we I order a cup of coffee. And he says, oh, yes, coffee. They drink that all over this big, beautiful world of ours. Where do you lay your head at night, typically? What region of this vast continent do you call home, Monsignor?
What do you do for coin around those parts?
Yeah. What keeps your wallet fat and happy? And I was like, I'm from Colorado. And you say,
he's a comedian.
He's a comedian. Yeah. Just eyes gleaming. And I say immediately, and he books a comedy club here. It's just like fucking chemical warfare. Mutually assured destruction at that point.
2 light bulbs.
Yes.
We actually saw 2 light bulbs appear over his head. I've never seen that before. It was fucking outlandish.
Bro.
But it happened, as you can attest to. You witnessed it.
I was beholden to it.
It's crazy.
Yes. And his one eye, bing, the other eye, bing, and then comedian. A jester, you say. A bouffon? Well, in that case, do you enjoy jokes, gentlemen? And we're like, Garrett, you've been killing all day.
Yeah.
Of course. Remember he did a joke about Gandhi that was a riff on
that one was like playful.
It was cute.
And not really racist.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Can't remember the joke, but the punchline was supercalifragilistic something with halitosis. Because he said he had bad breath.
He had bad breath, wore no shoes, was a vegan.
Right.
And a pacifist.
Yeah. I wish I could remember.
I wish we could reverse engineer that joke, because I'm sure it was a doozy.
It was great. I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
That erases the 3 attempts at anti-Semitism right to our faces. And then, so we tell him, he finds out we're comedians. Oh, jokes, yes. The international language. Yes. Like music for the brain.
I shall return.
Gentlemen.
With props.
Yes. So he disappears to the kitchen. We're like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
He gets
Who
props.
knows?
He returns with a napkin folded into fourths.
Yeah, a large white napkin.
Big white napkin.
Yeah.
As white as the face of the moon.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, it's pretty white.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty white, pal. Yeah. And then a pepper grinder.
White. We'll tell that later. Your fucking worst joke you've ever pitched to anybody.
It's good.
It's terrible. Anyway, he came back with a giant white napkin.
And a pepper grinder.
That's right. Oh, yes, the pepper grinder was necessary for the joke.
Yes, and he's just like, gentlemen, and he lays out the napkin so it's spread open.
We're listening.
Yo, we have never listened harder.
Yeah.
I'm fully attuned to the world of Garrett. And he says, what's this? And he grinds pepper all over the 4 quadrants of the white napkin.
Yeah.
So now there's just a rain of black pepper flakes.
Yeah.
He says, what's this?
I'm flummoxed.
The Million Man March. So we're like, oh, well, surely it can't be any worse than that. Pretty weak attempt.
Wrong.
Oh, yeah. And then he's like the Jack Nicholson kid.
You're right. He did look an awful lot like the Jack Nicholson gift from The Departed.
He could barely contain himself. Yes.
Wait till they get a load of the punchline. Yeah, it was brutal.
Jack Nicholson, Garrett probably loves the beginning of The Departed.
Oh, yes.
That opening soliloquy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So then he picks up the napkin from both sides, creating a crease down the middle, and all the pepper aggregates in the middle into one corridor.
Yes.
One column, straight column. And he says, "And what's this?"
I thought it would be black cocaine. I didn't know.
No. It's the line for the KFC afterwards. At this point,
my head is down,
Yeah,
and I'm uncomfortably cackling.
we are laughing because we don't. It's not that the joke is great. It's the brazen attitude. He's like, well, these guys surely are the audience for this joke. And then as I peel my eyes away, Garrett's literally going. He can barely contain himself, and I peel my eyes and I look, and there's a 70-year-old woman at the next table who happens to be black, looking over your shoulder, just going.
Oh no!
Just horrified.
I look up. Garrett's like, "I shall return with your check."
Yes. Just horrified. This woman heard everything and sees us at the next table, just like, and Garrett.
Yeah, zero context.
Yes, zero context. She doesn't know how nuanced our
flavor
of comedy is. We know it's bad, ma'am. It's more just the sitcom-esque nature of this.
Exactly.
So as soon as he walks away, I'm like, we have to go. We have to get out of here, dude. And so we bailed, and hopefully that woman didn't recognize me or you, because we're probably doomed. Our big concern is that she's going to complain about Garrett.
Yes, that was my biggest fear.
Secretly.
Right.
And then Garrett's going to blame us for when he gets canned.
And then what will inevitably follow the canning?
He puts on the V
world's
for Vendetta.
largest shooting spree known to man.
But he's dressed like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
He's like,
he did do a few impressions, and they were all Frank Oz impressions, technically. He did a hell of a... Frank, I'll be honest, they weren't even great Frank Oz impressions.
He did.
They were all in his wheelhouse, his self-proclaimed wheelhouse.
I think the impression he went, "I'm Kermit the Frog here," and we were like, "Okay, all right," and then he was like, "Yoda," which is how I do impressions.
All right, but can you do Miss Piggy? Yeah.
There is no Miss Piggy. There's only Yoda. And you were like, oh, so it's just Frank Oz? That's all you can do? And then he did. How did he cover? He did Snagglepuss.
Oh yeah, he did do Snagglepuss. You can never go wrong with a good Snagglepuss, though. Arguably the best. Yeah.
Oh man. That
was
our night with Garrett.
Well, can you do anything that aren't animated characters or puppets? Yeah, I could do the guy that worked at the front desk at the prison and trading places. That's Frank Oz! It is?
What a great deep cut. So, man. So, yeah, if Garrett does get fired, we're for sure he's taking the lid off that lipstick and Buscemiing us.
Yeah, that's
right
what
back
I thought.
on that list, yeah.
But it could be a problem for us.
Well, so problem for you.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
He has your credit card information.
Fuck.
He can trace that right back to here.
Fuck. No good deed goes unpunished. I should have let you pay.
Yeah, and you're going to be out there walking your dog, doing your favorite bit.
What? Oh, Dog Central?
Yeah. You tell that story.
I don't know if that would work on a... there's
You'd be
a street.
surprised what works.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's a street where my apartment, where I reside, and it's a nice little street with many restaurants and cafes and such.
Mm-hmm. It's popping, it's active.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And on every corner, there are a couple people in orange, highway worker vests, the construction vests.
Trying to get you to
and they're trying to get you to sign a petition for Planned Parenthood or, whatever, Amnesty International.
Whatever bullshit
whatever.
the fucking
UNICEF.
chicks are into these days.
Yeah. And me, I'm walking along with 4 other comics who were in town. I think it was like Shane Gillis and Ari Shaffir and the usual suspects.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, Tony was there.
Yeah.
And I'm walking my dog to go eat at a restaurant down there. We see in the distance there's a couple of these folks in the orange vests. And as I approach, on the other side of them, about a block or 2 down there, is another person walking a single dog.
At least 70 yards away?
At least 70. A good football field and a half away. If you squint, you could make out a person walking a dog, a single dog. Uh-huh. And as we approach, the man in the orange vest goes up to, unbeknownst to him, 5 comics.
5 of the funniest people.
Yeah. And he says to us, "What is this, Dog Central?" And we laugh so hard, right in his fucking face. He thinks he's killing, but in actuality, he's like, "What is this, Dog Central? Hey, moment of your time, if I could, gentlemen." And we just crying, laughing as we walk past him. And do not bring it up other than to laugh in his face. Yes. So I think to this day he still thinks, man, did they get a kick out of it? I must be so funny.
Yes, he's gonna go and kill Tony and do the Dog Central story.
Yeah, he might. It would kill on for Tony.
Oh my god!
And we always bring that up. That was one of my greatest moments.
Yeah, Dog Central got me real good.
Yeah, Dog Central was good. And then I did use it on another guy who. Yeah, we came across.
You sent me a picture. Oh yeah, when we were walking with Jake Becker, who's not here because he had to fly home on Saturday afternoon for some reason. Yeah, a guy came with a dog, and I hear you from behind me. "What is this, Dog Central?" All right. And me and Becker, of course.
He scowled at me and hurried away.
Yes.
Hey everybody, celebrate the new season with delicious meals that take 2 minutes and practically 0 effort. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, helps you fuel up with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. You can choose from over 34 weekly meal options that are fresh, never frozen. You can even level up their Gourmet Plus options with premium ingredients like leeks, truffle batter, and asparagus. If lunchtimes are hectic, Factor has you covered there too. Keep your energy up with lunch-to-go meals, no microwave required. They're ready whenever you are. Head to factormeals.com/chubby50 and use the code chubby50 to get 50% off. That's code chubby50 at factormeals.com/chubby50 to get 50% off. Bow down to Factor.
That's the kind of fun we have down here in Austin.
It was fun. We had a lot of laughs this week.
Oh, dude.
I'm so glad you were here. I really missed you.
I miss you as well. Well,
I always do.
I'll be establishing residency here.
Oh, I hope so.
I think I'm going to move into
Don't lie to me.
Kim Congdon's building.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like $1,400 for
phenomenal.
like a Murphy bed studio.
That's fantastic. That's
easy,
perfect for
it's
part-time
close.
living.
I can walk her home.
Yeah, you can make that up in a week.
I mean, dude, you guys are so generous with the pay here.
Oh, you're just incredibly generous. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I always said when he bought the club, it was almost like Brewster's Millions, or I don't know if you've seen Brewster's Millions, but Richard Pryor, when he's like, you have to spend this amount of money
in like a week or a day,
48 hours, and it's like he was a ball player, and it's like all the things that, like if a hobo, if someone were a poor comic was always like, if I ever won the lottery, we'd do this and we'd do that. And it's all bullshit. They would just go buy a fucking a house made of gold, and
of course,
go and never talk to their close friends ever again.
Some kind of $3 million apartment.
Yeah. And Joe did exactly that. He kept his word. He's like, I'm going to build the best comedy club in the world and treat all the comics well and make them all rich.
I don't think anyone, like, behind the scenes, anyone who has, like, percentage shares is making any money. Like, can you imagine having a percentage share in that club?
No.
God.
Yeah, that would suck.
What a foolish endeavor that
would be dumb.
Golly. Like, that's your plan? Is, like, have, like, maybe, like, I don't know, 5% of that club?
Any good bets this week?
We can't find a bookie.
Yeah, we can't find a bookie. Tell him about the joke. You keep pitching Ron White.
Well, I keep asking. Ron's been at the club. He opened for my show on Wednesday. Yeah. He is so sweet to me. It's really cool because I've known Ron forever. But for him to like kind of anoint me with his like blessing is huge in that green room. Yeah. He really cuts through the crap of everything, you know?
And how great does he look? He lost so much weight when he stopped drinking. He looks like, I said, it's like Nick Nolte playing Antonio Banderas in a movie or something. Yeah. It's fucking wild.
He's like swarthy somehow.
Yeah.
There's like a Mediterranean hue to his skin now.
Suave.
Yeah.
He's a suave motherfucker.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
And he doesn't drink anymore. Yeah. He just comes in there, lights a $150 cigar, takes 2 puffs, forgets it's lit.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't know where he is.
No.
Keeps asking for his nurse. You know, he's doing great. No, so Ron rules, but I want Ron to try a joke. At least try it.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. So I'll do my best Ron White right now.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to ejaculatize with my old lady, I preface it by telling her, Ronnie want a white. So I pitched that to him.
How does that go?
It's him going, I don't understand the comedic intent of what you just posited to me, young man.
You just sound like Garrett doing an impression.
It's Garrett doing Ron White. Well, no, Garrett doing Ron White would be, I don't understand the comedic intent. It's Kermit doing
Garrett
Ron
doing. Oh my God! What kind of fucking Inception?
Incense and peppermints. Yeah,
that's too many layers.
What is this?
Oh, my brain hurts. Oh, I hate meta.
So yeah, I keep pitching this to Ron, and the ears couldn't be deafer that it falls upon. Yeah. And then you keep bringing it up because it would work. Ron did that.
It was like when Tony kept pitching us that. I kept making Tony tell people his bit he kept trying to do about Medea.
The Medea bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And you told me the first night, Tuesday night, you were like, yes, Tony just did. He was bombing or whatever in the little room.
It was a fucking awful crowd. Yeah, they were being terrible.
Sure, and you yelled out, "Do the Medea bit."
Yeah,
and then he does the Medea bit, and then
there's more silence, and then I just from the back room just go, "Boo!" It was great. We had a good laugh about it.
Bro, your timing is like Simpsons-esque.
Oh,
it's like
sweet.
Dana Gould.
Oh, that's sweet.
You're so fucking funny, and it's so funny to see you surrounded by people who, I mean, the green room obviously is packed with legends, sincerely.
Yeah,
But then there's a lot of young comics running around in there, and watching the open mic with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's fun.
Is there a bigger joy?
I hate watching it alone, but when it's with someone else,
yes.
I always text people, or like, I'll send clips or premises. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how many, it's just the same fucking thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's baffling.
What's open mic comedy?
Dating is weird. I get it, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
I love. Oh yeah, and Ari, we pointed it out. Shit's crazy. That's a good one that keeps popping up.
Yeah, that's a new go-to.
Man, shit's crazy. What else is going on?
Everyone clapping.
And there's some real fun names.
Oh yeah.
Like, Sam from Thailand
yes.
or whatever. And,
yeah, you were like, we miss Sam from Thailand.
Yeah, he was number 2 on the list.
Yes.
There was one the other day. It was like something half a person.
No.
And he didn't have. Yeah, he didn't have any legs.
What?
Yeah.
He was a stuntman. Did he get up there on a skateboard?
No.
What, did Mitch Burrow just like pick him up and plop him?
He did the gorilla thing or something. Yeah, it was wild. Another guy, he spent his entire set. Actually, he went 2 minutes over. He ran the light by 2 minutes because he did Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe in its entirety, and he lip synced with a pooper scooper. So he brought a boombox. So we couldn't even play him off stage, which was kind of brilliant, to bring his own boombox.
Quite the gambit.
Turned it up.
Yeah.
And he just stood there and then had a pooper scooper and then did the pooper scooper to the microphone.
To Poison.
Poison on the boombox.
Wow. So you're really creating this just culture of genius comedy over there.
I disagree.
I think that you're literally the tip of the sword for the modern day
I'd love to
poets and pundits.
Yeah.
You're going to fall on your sword?
Yeah. I don't like it.
I hope that you never self-harm, but if you do...
Boy,
opens in the back of the room during Holtzman's set.
I always said if I ever kill myself, I would blow my brains out in the back of the open mic, because that would be great.
And whoever's on stage in that moment would immediately make the podcast round.
I think that would be great. If I ever had the balls to do it, that's how I would do it.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, I hope you never get the
Hey,
balls.
I'm half this and half that, so I look a bit like this and a bit like that.
Bang!
Blood all over the wall. Yes. That would be great. Dating's weird.
That explodes.
Well, Adam's dead.
Holtzman's riffing on it right away.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Dude, I just found out about Brian Holtzman live. I've seen clips of his or whatever because I saw him at Skankfest dressed like a genie.
Oh, yeah.
And then after I left, people were like, "Oh, that was Brian Holtzman. You ever seen him?" And I've watched some clips. But man, him live is quite the scene, baby.
It's a real experience.
Yeah.
He's the best. I love him.
I do too. And I described it this way because Brent Gill was like, "Yeah, I've seen him at the OR a lot back in the day in LA when he was at the Comedy Store." And he's like, "It's fun to see him here. He's really like being embraced here." And I was like, well, "I think Brian Holtzman's kind of like Jack White playing guitar because clearly Jack White can fucking rip on guitar. You know, like he's an accomplished guitarist. But he decided in the White Stripes to do like primitive, like Monks-esque, Sonics-esque rock and roll."
Totally.
So obviously Holtzman has been doing it for 100 years.
Yeah.
And he clearly can do stand-up in the traditional sense, but now he's diverted it back to this like primordial, like almost 6-month open micer premises, but done with aplomb.
Yeah, that's
done
beautiful.
With an expertise,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That perfectly encapsulates his entire essence.
It's
love
like
that.
an Andy Kaufman-esque situation.
A little bit, yes. I think you're right. He is. He's stripped it down to its core. I think that he was so frustrated pushing the envelope, and then especially as times continue to change and people became more and more woke and audiences were more and more afraid to laugh at some of the bits he was trying, that he finally just said, "Fuck this, I'm just going to go all in."
Yeah.
And just be so fucking crazy, and he's nothing. He takes all the chances.
He does. There's like almost like a violence to it, which is exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's
like it's very assaultive, but he does it in a way where it's not over the line, because you can tell that he's like doing a version. It's 4D chess. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're talking a lot about a man who just gets up there and sometimes yells slurs and stuff. But my favorite thing was when he's dressed like a cartoon character. Pants are like half of his body. Some kind of flamboyant, crazy shirt. Wicked mustache, And so when people push back, he'll go like, "Oh yeah, take me seriously. Yeah. Look at me. Look at me." Yeah.
It's so true. I know. I'll show you after the pod. His hair looks exactly like Gary Oldman as Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you've seen, but I took a side-by-side photo. I'll send it to you.
Yes, you sent me a great clip of his from the back.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
God, you must have a real special reserve of like comedy treats.
Yeah, I've
You've
taken
seen
some
it
good
all.
ones over the years.
Yeah.
Sure. Brodie and...
Yeah, Brodie.
I would always put Brodie at the end of the show. Either Brodie, I would switch off between Brodie and Holtzman, and they were always my two favorite comics to watch bomb.
Yeah,
like I love them because it doesn't matter if they kill or they bomb; it's equally hilarious. It's the best to watch.
I remember Brodie. I did a show in a barn in Iowa. It was curated by this like kind of eccentric millionaire's son.
Okay,
so he brought White Reaper out there. He brought. The guy from Moldy Peaches. He brought me, cool. Kyle Kinane, Brody Stevens. There was another huge. Harmar Superstar.
Oh yeah.
It was in this barn, like in the middle of a field, and all these people drive in from all over the Midwest, and it's like people camp. Insane evening of comedy. Nick Thune's there.
Right.
So anyway, it was the first time I ever saw Brodie do like an hour.
Oh.
And he has his drum, and he's in the crowd, and people are playing his head, and it was really fucking great.
Yeah.
That's the kind of comedy that excites me. Rory Scovel excites me, like that kind of stuff. Harlan Williams, we both have a mutual admiration for Harlan.
Love Harlan.
So I remember Brodie because when I went on stage later that evening, I played the drum set because I play drums. And he was like, oh, you're a drummer. So then we exchanged phone numbers, and I receive a bunch of text messages from Brodie Stevens of just pictures of drum sets.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's sweet.
So this is very towards the end, before he did The Only Brave Thing. Before he decided that the only choice man has, in the spirit of Camus, And, but due to like the timing, I can't remember who I was talking to, but he sent me a picture that day before he did it of a drum set. And
that
day. And then I think relatively soon, within an hour or 2 hours, whatever happened.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you respond?
I don't think so.
Oh, well. Just saying. I would have responded. Especially knowing Brodie. God. Wow, you didn't respond? How terrible that must have been for him. He must have been thinking, he probably took that really hard. Well, I mean, obviously. Oh my God. It's terrible.
It's my fault.
Oh, it's all making so much sense. I cleaned out his apartment. I was the one who had to go over there and clean out his apartment.
Why you?
I was very close with him. I've known him since like 1987.
Wow.
We both grew up in Tarzana, and he was like the older student. I was in the Joe Torre baseball camp.
Okay.
Little league. And he was like one of the older students. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I grew up with Brodie.
That's insane.
Yeah, I have I still have a lot of his shit in my trunk. I just can't seem to get it out of there.
Well, luckily you
Bunch
haven't
of
lost
hats
anyone else you were very close to.
I can't think of anybody.
I don't think so, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, all my friends are living.
Yeah, everyone's alive and well.
Good for me.
Yeah. You don't have a wake of death behind you.
No.
Do you remember the other last time we were hanging out in front with Tracy and the bartenders?
Yeah.
And we had our arms around each other, and you were like, "Yeah, this is Sam. He's my new best friend." And I was like, "Hold on a minute. I heard about what happened to your last best friend. Let's pump the brakes on that."
Shut up. Just drink this glass of blood cancer. It's a new shot I've come up with. It's great.
Obviously, this is the 2-year anniversary of definitely my favorite comedian. I never met him in any way.
Oh, I thought it was the 2-year anniversary of the 10-year anniversary of 9/11.
No. So my mom, you know what's weird is like Norm, when he passed, it was the 14th of September. My mom died on 9/11.
Oh, that's
and I didn't tell anyone about it. I just champed it, I don't want to be one of these people exploiting the death of my mother online for like pity likes or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? I think that's very strange to immediately post about a loved one passing. So no one knew my mom was dead really, besides my family. Not even everyone in the family. We kind of kept it under wraps.
Oh.
I'm kidding. When Norm passed, people were messaging me, and I'm just ripped in half by the loss of my mother. And they're like, "Hey man, so sorry about Norm," and I kind of had to be like, "Oh yeah, man, that guy I never met. I'm really ripped in half right now. It's like, so he was the man. I'm sure anytime you do a podcast, people just want to talk about Norm. I've been trying to avoid it.
No, anybody you can.
No, when you brought me over here, you
always.
said, "Hey, 2 rules.
Don't fuck my dog.
Don't fuck my dog, and you better do a funny dance for her."
And so far, you've lived up to You've held up your end of the bargain. You son of a bitch. Hey, Dice, you're missing it.
Yeah, you immediately took me into your bedroom and you said, "Entertain the puppy." Turn the lights on and off, strobe effect.
And then, you said, "Oh, this is where the magic happens." I was like, "Don't say that."
No, I said something far worse.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Dice, come here. He's dancing. She doesn't care.
She doesn't like me.
No, she doesn't like me.
She likes you a lot.
She loves me.
Yeah, she's the only. You're the only.
She
person.
loves you.
I don't know, dude. We've been to some restaurants together. She's stays underneath the table.
No, that's not true.
The other day when
yeah.
you ordered a side of steak with your steak.
Oh, yeah.
You ordered a steak and then a side of steak. Yeah. And the waitress brought it over and you ate all the steak without giving any to your dog.
I gave a piece to my dog.
A piece, yes. But we all assumed that the side of steak was for your beloved dog.
Fuck that.
And no, it was just more.
She has plenty of treats. I have a whole cabinet full of treats in there.
Those aren't treats. Those are bottle caps.
She loves them.
She really does. It's crazy.
I soak them in pig lard. They're fine. She likes them.
Pig lard. That's my rap name.
Oh, that's a great rap name.
Yes.
No, I don't mind if you fucking ask questions about Norm. I don't do a lot of... I've done like 3 podcasts. I've done you and Shane's and Christina Pete. Like, I go just my closest.
I know, but after you went on Shane's, I hit him up and I was like, oh, that was great, dude. You really showed a lot of restraint on the Norm stuff. And he was like, I know, but all I wanted to do was talk about Norm.
Yeah, if I was on the other side of, if I was on the other end of the table and I'm here, I'd certainly rather talk about Norm.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people know how funny you are.
That's sweet, you know and that's up for debate. Yeah, a couple
debate
people.
With who? You show me someone who doesn't say you're funny, I'll show you someone with 2 new black eyes. I'll resort to fisticuffs, see? I'll give them the old punch-up.
Oh, now I get it. I just thought they randomly had black eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no.
you'd punch them.
Yeah, anyone.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One for you, one for the mayor.
Is that how you fight?
Yeah, it's like King Kong.
One for you, one for the mayor.
Yeah. I'm not good. I've lost every fight I've been in.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. I don't really want to know much, but you told me that funny story about him and John Travolta.
Oh, that was great.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite. There's so many, God, I need to write down all these stories because I feel like over the years there's been so many anecdotes that I've just forgotten about. Mm-hmm. The worst memory, but this one stood out. He said that one year, I think it was probably around Pulp Fiction, I would assume, when Travolta was hosting.
At the height of his fame.
Yeah. And he said that Travolta was one of he said most guest hosts did not come in until the night of the show or whatever, and the dress rehearsal.
Right.
But he said Travolta was very hands-on and wanted to... he went into the writer's room the week before and brought in a ton of his own sketches that he wrote that he wanted to pitch.
Yeah.
And they were all excited. And Norm said they were all at least borderline or completely full-blown racist. And he said, so the one he remembered that he recounted to me was, he said there was this one sketch Travolta was pitching where he said, all right, it's a Jewish PI in the vein of Columbo, and his name is Shlomo Pennypincher. And he's like, I know you were there on June 21st, and I can pin the murder on it. Oh, is that a quarter? And he said the whole writer's room is just mouth agape, shocked. Norm just cackling. That always made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I mean that's if fucking John Travolta presented me with Shlomo Pennypacker. Pennypincher, excuse me. He's not eating the pennies. That'd be insane. Yes, he pinches them.
Shoving them up his ass. I mean, he might. I don't know.
Well, hey, there's rewrites.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna
Travolta stories too, but I don't. Huh?
There's more?
Huh?
You told me because we were together on the anniversary of Norm's death. And I think I was the one who reminded you, which was great.
Yeah, you always remind me.
Yeah, that's
You've reminded me 4 times on this podcast.
Yes. Well, you said you were going to text his son.
Oh, yeah.
You remember you were going to text his son?
No, what was
Hey, is your dad still dead?
Oh, right. Hey, just checking in. Is your dad still dead?
Yeah. Yeah, man, you're, I really envy he was... This is going to sound hyperbolic, but I've said before about Norm, I feel grateful that we existed in the same time as him.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like one of the true iconoclasts, a true literal genius. Mm-hmm. And people say comedic genius all the time, and they throw it around about,
Yeah. Darren Carter, the party starter.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on
Midnight Swinger.
Yeah, who?
You ever book Midnight Swinger?
No.
Oh my God, he's huge in the Midwest.
Is he a comedy genius?
Well, no, but he really sells tickets at like Penguins in Iowa City.
Oh, that's a great name.
Dude, you've never seen The Swinger?
No.
The Night Swinger comes out to Thunder.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The lights go on and off. And then he comes out looking like Brian Setzer. Oh. Just like huge, like Mac Tonight-esque suit, big pompadour. And then over the course of his set, he slowly strips his clothes off until he gets down. He pretty much does karaoke and does stuff about like, remember before cell phones, there was a cord on the phone.
Yeah, I remember.
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man, right?
Yeah, of course.
There'd be a cord.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So you'd be on the phone.
Right.
Talking to your friends.
I recall this.
Yeah. And remember, ladies, you start playing with that cord. You start twisting that cord.
Dude, ladies would do that.
Yes, and then he pulls a phone out of his like jacket with a cord and like underlines what he just elucidated. Yes.
Well,
anyway, so comedic
you just
genius.
got bumped.
Oh, fuck.
And what's his number? That guy sounds great.
Well, I'm sure you probably booked him at the Tucson Improv or whatever. At Laughs.
Tempe.
Yeah, Tempe.
Because as you're saying it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I do know who that is.
Yes. But Norm, literally a genius.
Yeah, he was always my favorite comic before I knew him, and he was my hero. He was my like my best friend, my hero.
And I feel
my
like
comic.
I know all the Norm lore. I've watched everything that he has ever been put out there, obviously. But there's something I don't know, and I'm not trying to ask you where you get your ideas from.
Okay.
But how did you guys fall into each other's company so firmly?
Oh, so I was working at the Tempe Improv, and I met him, and I think the first thing we connected over was, it was either poker or Faulty Towers, but then it just, we had so many shared interests, and it was these interests that I think that, I know I had trouble finding people who enjoyed, at that time, the American Office wasn't even out yet, and enjoyed the Office UK as much as he did. So we both were obsessed with that, obsessed with Faulty Towers, and obsessed with old film noir movies from like the 40s and 50s in particular.
Yeah. So
he would come over to my apartment when I lived in Tempe, and we would smoke weed and watch, various film noir movies and Faulty Tower clips and shit like that. And then we would go play poker all night at this backdoor poker room that we had in Phoenix, in like this strip shopping center. And man, I would lose so much money because they were the most random game. Like, and Norm was so good at
playing like Raz. And
Raz Badoogie, Kansas
That's
City
a good
Lowball, Crazy Pineapple, like all that shit. And I'm
Crazy Pineapple's a real game?
Crazy Pineapple was fun. That one, it's sort of like Texas Hold'em, but you have 3 hold cards as opposed to 2.
Yeah.
And so you get to pick the best 2 on the,
Oh, that's fun.
It was pretty fun.
More options in poker.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is more fun for the player.
Yeah.
But God, the percentage points you lose, the more cards that come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you think you have the nuts, and then you're like, oh, I didn't even think about those nuts.
Yeah. So there's all these poker rooms here.
I had a nut allergy. I would never get the nuts. I couldn't. I'd die. I was broke. I lost a lot.
It must be tough here not being able to sports gamble.
Yeah. It's great too, though.
It's because you're so bad at it.
I'm addicted to all kinds of stuff. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke. I don't. I currently don't eat carbs or sugar.
Yeah, you're loving that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
You're getting that Nicorette gum in, though.
Oh, yeah, I eat a lot of that.
Yeah, last night you pulled a graveyard of Nicorette gum capsules out of your pocket and sprinkled them in the trash. It's like, good God, man. It's a lot of ret. You're like Brett Butler.
Shut the fuck
up. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Have you been to any of these card rooms here? They have all these poker rooms.
Shut up.
I'm serious.
Don't tell me.
Well, I think that it's legal. I think you can play bar poker. But then there's like other places that like you can actually do like high roller poker that's like
I'm going to be broke. I gamble. I have horrible. Yeah, I shouldn't know that.
I won't tell you that. I'm sorry.
Well, now you got to. Where are they?
Let's go tonight.
What time? What's
we don't have to do
What's
that.
the parking like?
I think it's good and it's dog friendly.
Okay.
Actually, if you come in with a dog, they
love
stake
that.
you 1,000 chips just out the gate.
That was the funniest when Todd Glass before he came out of the closet, and he would come through Tempe when he would headline, and he would always, comics when they come to a new club and they want the local references to tailor their bits.
Yeah.
What's the main street?
What's
here?
the rival school?
Yeah, and he would be like, hey, what's the name of what's the popular local gay bar? Everyone knows that. Oh, you mean Manhole? Yeah. Where is that again? On Apache? Okay, Apache. Is it good on Thursdays is a busy night? Parking. What's the parking? They have valet or?
I remember him coming out on, was it WTF?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
is that when he came out?
I feel like he came out on WTF
like the
publicly.
Place to do it, sure.
Yeah. And it being a total, I don't care. I was probably, it was 2007 or 8 or something. I was a young comic, and I was like, I just want you to do funny bits, Todd Glass. Who cares if you're gay? It was a real letdown because the episode was so serious, and it wasn't him. Dude, Todd Glass came to Comedy Works in Denver with the band.
Oh.
Yeah, and one night he was having a tough set, and he turns around, he turns his back on the crowd, and he says, if you guys aren't liking it, go ahead and leave. I'll never know. Go ahead. I'm not going to miss you. When he turns around, 80% of the room left. There's maybe 50 people left. And the servers are like, what's going on? Everyone walked on their tabs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes. So 80% of the room bail without paying for anything.
Oh, my God.
Yes. It was insane. My friends were bartending there. They're calling around. They're like,
oh my
Todd
God.
Glass just cost us our entire nut. It was early show Saturday.
Oh,
or something.
no.
Yeah, it was
a mass dine and dash?
Yeah, just a huge
God,
exodus that he encouraged.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, the Glass Man.
I do love that. That was one of my favorite moments when Norm was we had him on the podcast, and Norm was just fucked with him relentlessly. Mm-hmm. I remember he kept trying to get him to smoke weed before the podcast. Yeah. And then he was like, I'm just going to fuck with him all the time. He's like, how much weed did you smoke?
Yeah.
But I remember I was like, Todd kept John Maddening all the jokes. He's like, are you doing this thing where you pretend he doesn't like the Holocaust? And they're like, what's happening here is,
boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and again, this is very pedantic and probably boring for you. Was there ever a guest on that show because obviously all those guests were awesome, but then you get into the Netflix
They
show.
were?
Well, yeah, because I feel I can't think of one who really didn't get it besides that kid who was on the Big Bang Theory.
That was the first that came to mind.
Right, yeah.
Well,
he's the
we
one
had
who
a few
stands out.
guests that really were shoved up our ass by the people at Jash for
okay.
reason. They were like, no, he's got, and it's the algorithm. It was algorithm before algorithm was cool.
Right.
We're like, no. And I remember, I think it was still the least watched episode to this day.
Yeah, because he looks like he's flinching. You can see him do the math on his career. And
Exactly.
He's running the binary code of
totally.
what this word means to his fucking payouts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. There were a lot of those.
I mean, obviously, Super Dave is never gonna. He gets the jokes.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the joke. Andy Dick, the fucking Swartz and the Man-Grave situation.
Well, I don't think we came close to ever topping the first episode. Yeah, Super Dave was the best episode. He was just the perfect. He was the perfect guest. It was. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
It was the best. Yeah, that was my favorite episode.
So you guys peaked initially right out the gate.
Oh yeah.
But then when you have Drew Barrymore on the Netflix show, or was it Jane Fonda? Were those easy?
I don't know.
Because there was a sweetness to Jane Fonda. Norm has that rakish quality that comes out of him, Well,
that's the great thing about Norm is he could do. I think when in our first discussions of what we wanted the podcast to be, it was we want to combine the intimacy of and fascinating one-on-one conversational style of Tom Snyder combined with the punk,
irreverence,
anarchy, and irreverence of early Letterman.
Okay,
and I think for the most part he nailed that. I think we were able to accomplish a lot of that.
Yeah.
In the early days, and then I think it became way more just Tom Snyder, which was great too. At the end of the podcast, leading into Netflix,
right?
And that's what it became, which was great too.
It was more.
And
of a hang.
I missed a lot of the the envelope pushing raw comedy, say whatever you want as long as it's funny.
That you could do on YouTube.
That we could do on YouTube prior to The Reckoning. And,
right. But then the level of guests that you guys were able to achieve on that Netflix show, I mean, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, sure. But, we were also, in the podcast, I think we had bigger guests. Like, we had Seinfeld in the podcast. We had Adam Sandler. We had...
But these are all comedians. You know what I mean? Like, Michael Keaton was a comedian at one point, but then he's, like, nominated for Best Actor, or maybe wins Best Actor for Birdman,
right. Yeah, right.
Like, Jane Fonda is a level of unattainable. Like, is she doing anyone's show? The fact that she came out for Norm, I'm not besmirching the level. And, like, obviously, Sandler, much funnier. Seinfeld was great on there. All these people were great on there. But I just remember watching the Netflix show and being like, what the fuck? Who's casting this? Or are they friends with Norm? Are they smitten with his genius? Is that why they want to come on?
It was all Netflix. It was
Netflix did it.
Quotas, and they all had shows to promote on Netflix at that time. So it's like,
I see.
Jane Fonda had a couple, I think. She had that big
Jane
with Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
And then there was who else? But honestly, who else did we fucking have on that? I frankly don't remember all the guests.
Drew Barrymore was insane.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
But she, I think, came on, agreed to do it to promote one of her shows.
Sure, something to, okay.
And then, other than that, we had, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
And
that was a real
Chevy, it was like, it was great to get Lorne Michaels. That was amazing. But at the end of the day...
The Chevy episode is, God, he just must realize that Norm is in the highest echelon of comedic talent, because he was, like, deferring... like he allowed himself to be more human on that show.
Not a lot of people that Chevy would do that.
No,
I can't think of anybody.
Because he's a renowned ass.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember the early days of Stern. He was one of the worst when Stuttering John would go and interview people. It was like Chevy. So it was like before the world knew. Yeah. I love Chevy, obviously.
Fletch.
Yeah. Come on, Fletch.
Yeah.
And I love
that house one where they have to reinvigorate the house.
Funny Farm?
Funny Farm, yeah.
It's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Funny Farm was very underrated.
Yeah.
He ate all those bull testicles.
Yeah, like as a kid, it's like Chevy Chase
all
rules.
The vacations, yeah.
Yeah, the vacation. Yeah,
it was great.
Anyway, I'm not... and that was just something that I always noticed was like, man, these people... I assumed that they were just like enamored with Norm like we were.
I think most of them were.
Okay.
A lot of them
Netflix also had a hand in it.
In those bookings, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Jane Fonda had a great idea of who Norm was.
But it just seemed like he was able to like look into her. There's so much eye contact in that episode.
I'm telling you, he was so fucking underappreciated as an interviewer.
Yeah.
He was so good at that. He was so good at so many things. He missed his calling as who knew? Like, he was the greatest comic who ever lived, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But like then you read his novel and some of the stuff he wrote for Grantland and everyone who knows him very well knows what an avid reader and how truly brilliant he was in so many facets of life. But then you read his writing, you're like, man, if he just focused on that, good God.
Oh yeah. He could have been.
He could have been one of the greatest literary minds of our lifetime.
Those Grantland, people forget about those. If you're a Norm head, those Grantland articles are
phenomenal.
I'm crazy. It's just nuts that they're not posted all the time on the Norm subreddit.
Yeah,
like, you have to like go look for them for some reason. And it's like, okay, if we're all so fucking rapacious to get every bit of Norm content, why aren't we fucking passing these things around as well?
That's some of them. Yeah, that's a part of the mountaintop for sure.
Anyway.
And that was the precursor to all the Hunter S. Thompson shit from the book. It all started with Grantland.
Well, let's real quick. Do you have one Norm story that you would like to tell before we wrap this up? I know there's a whole wealth of them out there floating around your head, and I'm sure you've told a lot of your best nuggets here and there. And I know this is self-indulgent of me, but I was just such a fan of Norm, and now you're a friend.
Right.
Like, this is not what this podcast has ever been before. Right. I've done more. This is usually just two guys slapping and tickling like we did about Garrett. So I'm sorry to end it on this like kind of like me just like greedily extracting, because when we're hanging out, I don't want to be like, hey dude, tell me about Norm, because I enjoy just talking to you and riffing around.
Yeah, you're like one of my best friends.
I know, and I'm fucking grateful for that. Weird. I love you, man.
I love you too.
Yeah.
There's some I don't feel. Yeah, my favorite ones I don't feel I can't.
I'm not asking you
share.
to spill the beans or anything.
No, I know, but some of it's sad. But most of the ones that I find the absolute funniest, I just can't unfortunately say on camera.
Sure.
Or write in print. What's a great one though? I mean, I do love that. He said it. A lot of these, I think he said on.
What about a great story about me then? What's your favorite anecdote you tell about me?
I loved when we were. I mean, there's so many good ones, but I do love that whole night with Tony and giving him shit about the Medea joke. And
yes.
I give him so much credit how he just said fuck it and kept doing. He did it like 4 times, and we're in the balcony cackling. That was a great moment.
You know what's a fun one? My favorite one with me and you is the first time I toured the comedy club. And Joe's saying, yeah, we're going to call the rooms Fat Man and Little Boy. But I'm worried that we're going to get some pushback from people who lost people in World War II. And I was like, well, what about the swastika, Joe? Because that theater was the punk room.
Club,
yes.
Yeah.
And like as far up as you can get. Someone must have been pulled up on like a Peter Pan rope system.
I have no idea how they
giant white swath just right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
And no one noticed the swath somehow.
I don't. Well, yeah, I certainly noticed it.
Well, did you notice it before I pointed it out?
I can't recall.
To that team of investors?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah. No, I think that was the first time.
The first one to point it out.
Yes. And Joe looks up and he goes, oh yeah, that's got to come down. And then just keeps talking. Like, didn't faze him at all. Well, Adam, you're the man. Thank you for being on the pod. Hey, listeners, I was Sam Tallent. Of course, Lund has COVID, so he couldn't come down this weekend.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I know, but I'll be in Kansas City. I'll be in Indianapolis. I'll be in Des Moines, Tampa Bay, Key West. And then we're coming over to Estonia. We got Bratislava, Budapest, Vienna, Prague, London. Get your tickets for London, please.
So cool.
God, yeah, I'm in the Leicester Theater in London.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a fucking crazy idea.
That's unbelievable.
It wasn't my idea.
Wait, from like A Day in the Life, the Beatles song?
I don't know.
How many holes to fill the Leicester's? Yeah, hall.
Yeah,
right?
Leicester.
Whoa.
I know.
But it's spelled like it has 40 more letters.
Leicesterter.
It sounds.
It looks
it
like
should-
Leicester.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, join the Patreon, of course. We just had a great episode with Brent Gill. Patreon.com/Chubby Behemoth. We love you. Adam, you want to say anything?
Fuck you.
All right, fuck you too, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.